might be in some trouble, but the Knicks BT for a night looked pretty good out at the world's most famous. I would say that my takeaway from the game last night, we'll get back to the calls on the NBA gambling scandal and all that stuff in a minute. My big takeaway from last night was that I did not see much of a difference. I know they played a deeper bench. Okay, that's great. That's fine. It's one game. But outside of the amount of players used, and I don't think that's a huge deal, I didn't really see much of a difference in the way that they looked.
I did, in the sense that they were, and I anticipated this coming in. You saw a lot more of Jalen, Brunson off the basketball, which is really good. Listen, I think it's going to really impact Bridges here. I think Bridges, and I remember saying that, knowing what Mike Brown was going to try to do this year, and it's obviously early, but also knowing Bridges' skill set, I thought it was going to be a good fit. I think he's a better ball handler than OG. So, like, when you look at a and OG was great last night, but you look at a non-conventional point guard to kind of assume some of the burden of dribbling the ball, I think Bridges will be that. I think it's going to free him up. You saw a little look of Kolick, which I like, and he played pretty well.
He looks serviceable.
He does. Yeah. Now he's going to get ripped up on defense. Kolick is going to spread the floor, though, and I think he's going to get it to the open man. Deuce was great. Yeah, you're right, the 11 guys.
Can Kolick be one of those guys like that freaking McConnell on Indiana? Can he eventually turn into that, like a little pesky point guard?
McConnell is thicker, and I hesitate to say tougher, because I'm not trying to say Kolick's not tough. I think he's a little more finesse and, quite frankly, a little more skilled than McConnell.
That's what I'm saying. Just like maybe a pesky player, though. Knock down a three,
that.
Move the ball a little bit.
I could get behind that. What's going to be interesting is they played 11 guys, and 2 guys who are going to play 30-plus minutes a night did not play. Well, maybe Mitch isn't playing 30 every night, but Mitch and Hart are going to be big-minute guys. So this is all the feeling out process. I thought schematically it definitely looked different from that point of view. You know, and I'm happy for Mike Brown, and I know that this raised some eyebrows. I think they even were kind of mocking it, and a little mock there when they played it during CeeLo's update this morning. Like, Mike Brown's like, "Oh my God, this is the Garden. It's amazing." Like, get over it, man. You're the head coach. But I didn't take it that way. I thought it was. Now, if I'm hearing that in a month, we got a problem. It was the first game as the head coach of the Knicks, a charter staple, the best venue in the NBA, and I thought he came across as really good.
I didn't see a clean, cohesive, organized offense. A consistent offense. In the beginning, maybe saw a little more spacing and some ball movement that I like, but they got away from that. And it became, again, okay, one guy penetrate a little bit, and then, Karl-Anthony Towns way too many times attacking the ring. Attacking the rim. I know Towns played banged up. What was it, a grade 2
grade 2 quadricep.
Okay, like, congrats, dude. I don't need a hero on opening night. Now,
yeah, you're not Willis Reed coming out of the tunnel to hit your first 2 jump shots. I mean, come on.
I do respect him for playing through a little pain.
But it's like he's taking bows after the game.
How did his body look to you? It looked the same.
He's never going to have a great body.
It looked exactly the same. So I'm fine with like. I just don't think they're going to be good enough. Are they deeper? They're 100% deeper. And Yabusele, he didn't even do anything last night.
No, he's going to, so that's good.
Wasn't good.
No.
Your boy Shaman,
Shaman played well.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
He played well, Shaman.
Kolick maybe could be a piece. I mean, okay, they're all right. Ultimately, it's going to come down to the main guys. Mitchell Robinson coming back healthy at some point.
Yep.
Bridges, Brunson, Towns, and Anunoby. The one thing that I would say that I love, and this is something that we knew when they acquired these players, Anunoby and Bridges, the ability to play defense. That is such a huge thing because the Knicks otherwise aren't a good defensive team. Those two should be individual defensive studs. And when you put them together, that can create some havoc, create some turnovers, create some opportunities. And in the postseason game, maybe be the difference maker, certainly down important possessions down the stretch. But they looked pretty similar to me. So if now it's one game, they weren't fully healthy. Neither were the Cavs, by the way.
True.
We're going to be dangerous. But I didn't see anything spectacular or different or any reason to really be encouraged beyond what I saw a year ago.
Well, listen, I would say that, when the Knicks play, as they play throughout the first, 7, 8, 9, 10 games of the season, try to get some continuity and some cohesion. And obviously you want to bang out some wins to start off well, and they should. I would tell the Knicks fan who doesn't really know, and not everybody's a crazy NBA fan, so I don't expect everybody to know, like, the intricacies of Mike Brown's philosophy. But I would think that when you watch the first 10-ish games, you're going to see a lack of structure, and we've talked about this on the show, kind of like almost just like you're playing in the schoolyard, kind of only with more polish, clearly, where you make a read, you react, and then you keep it moving, and you kind of replace the spacing, and then they'll incorporate some structures as they get deeper in terms of plays. So that'll be something to watch. So if you're a fringe NBA fan or a fringe Knicks fan, that's something to keep an eye out for. The other thing, too, and you said this, I can make the case that the players that the Cavaliers are missing were more important than the players the Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
Garland. But also Max Strus. Max, I remember seeing him at DePaul.
Cavs are going to be good, man.
They are going to be good. I think they're going to be the top seed. I think the Knicks will be the number 2 seed. Now, the Max Strus, when he was at DePaul, I remember him dropping 40. His pre-Patino. I'm like, man, he's like 6'8". He could shoot. I'm like, this guy's going to be in the NBA. But DePaul was horrible. And he's really become a very good NBA player. First with Miami, now with the Cavs, he's got some money. That is a team that's going to be good. And their bigs, whether it's Mobley and Allen, who weren't amazing last night, certainly Allen wasn't, they've gotten a little tougher and a little bit more polished since the Knicks bounced them from the postseason a couple of years ago. I'm very bullish on the Knicks. It's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to score a lot of points. They very well might make a big trade midseason if it doesn't look the right way for Giannis. But, Knicks, you got a team, and Knicks fans know that.
BT and Sal on the fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Back to the calls on the NBA scandal. Ryan calling from the Bronx. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, guys. Good morning. Good afternoon, rather. Is there any situation in pro sports where a player will void his contract, meaning that if I know it's in their contracts that gambling is obviously illegal, but I think the only deterrent would be is if you get caught, not only are you banned, but we'll pay out the rest of the season. We'll give him whatever the year is. All right, whatever, we'll pay out for the rest of the year. If you're on a 5-year deal, those other 4 years are gone. You don't get your money.
That should be
the only way to really.
I don't. No, it's okay, right? Sorry, I don't know that for a fact, BT. I'm assuming that's a given that if you get nabbed for whatever, gambling or shaving points or fixing games, your contract's got to be void.
I think that you're right. I mean, now maybe not that you can't try to fight it legally here, but that's a breach of contract. I would imagine. Thank you for the call. I mean, there's a code of conduct that we don't really know about. We don't really know how it's written out in the small print of NBA contracts. But yeah, you've got to adhere to certain societal parameters, if you will. And I would think that there would be legal recourse by the league to wipe out whatever remains on contracts if you get pinched for gambling.
I wonder if we could do some digging on that and actually find people who would know, and not just about the NBA. I'm thinking about it. I forget what happened with Ridley, but I believe he just got cut. Like Atlanta cut him. In the NFL, you could do that. But let's say with Class A or with baseball.
5 years left on a 9-year deal.
Fully guaranteed deal. Well, it can't be if you're...
I don't think you get to keep that money. I don't want to speak out of school, but I agree with you.
It makes no sense whatsoever. Yep. Adam is calling from North Haven, Connecticut about those Knicks. What's up, Adam?
What's up, guys? Yeah, I just a couple points, and I tend to agree with both of you. I thought the biggest difference was more three-pointers, which I think was good with the Knicks, and I think overall it was similar, but was kind of refreshing to see more depth and just not have that same kind of defensive feel with Tibbs. But, I mean, I know you guys have been pretty critical of Cat, and I can't help but say the same thing, but that's going to be the biggest question mark. I mean, he just, is he going to be able to get up and down the floor with these guys? It's sure, opening up him shooting from three is definitely going to help because they're moving faster, but he doesn't look any different than last year. It's the same player. Mm-hmm. You got to assume if things don't go right in Milwaukee that they're going to be looking to make a move for Giannis. Yes. And I hope it happens in the middle of the year, but I mean, he just fits the team so much more better with what they want to do now. It's a night and day, and I don't know that Cat is the right fit for this team. I mean, he's going to put up good games and he's going to score.
He's very good. Right. He's very good. We know that.
Yeah.
But right. Yeah. Well, and then thanks for the call there, Adam. This might seem unfair, and this is a massive stretch down the road. If I close my eyes, provided they have a good offseason and they, can I eventually see Aaron Judge hoisting a World Series trophy? I can. Maybe that's partially driven through sentiment or hope, whatever. Can I close my eyes and see Juan Soto hoisting a World Series trophy at some point with the Mets? I could. Can I close my eyes in however many years and see Jackson Dart on a podium with confetti coming down holding a trophy? I could. I don't see that with Cat.
What about Aaron Glenn? Just kidding. No, I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And it's a shame because I actually do like Cat. He's got tremendous potential and he's a highly talented player. I just don't believe. That's what I was saying. Even with the better depth that they have, the deeper bench, okay? They are a deeper team. Even with knowing that I would make that Cat trade again because I believe it made them more talented than the DiVincenzo Randle version of the Knicks. I still, at my core, don't believe that this group is a championship group, specifically the tandem of Brunson and Towns, to where I'm open to the idea of where in the beginning I was like, I don't know if I want Giannis. But now I think that if you want to win a championship, I do, and that move's out there, I do think you have to make that move.
Yeah, and they already turned one down. I mean, that was the report. I know a lot of Windhorse weighed in on this, where I don't know exactly what the Bucks were offering. I know that Brunson was off the table. Like, did they want both wings and Bridges and 3 future first round? Not that they have a lot of first round picks at this point. I don't know.
You think the Knicks have enough shooters?
Yes, I absolutely do.
See, because I don't know, especially if they trade for Giannis, because if they trade for Giannis, you would think Karl-Anthony Towns is going.
Yes, he'll be gone.
Okay, like OG, yes. I don't think Bridges is a good shooter.
But you got to understand the Sal. I like Bridges. I don't fully trust him. I hope I grow to love him more this year, and I think I might. But OG, who I know you said you like and trust,
yeah.
OG and Bridges have had one of the highest 3-point percentage from the corner in the NBA. It's like 42. It's crazy high.
But then this should be enough, because if you do trade for Giannis, one of those two is going along with Towns. So now you're losing 2 guys. Giannis is not a great shooter. Obviously,
not
at all.
No.
And like I don't know. Maybe maybe I don't want to admit it, but you watch what Donovan Mitchell could do throughout the course of a game or spurts.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Jalen is great and the clutch player and all that stuff. Can he do it to the level of one of those top premier backcourt players with more size who maybe scores a little bit easier than he does? And is he that shooter that those guys can be when they're on? Maybe that's part of it too. Maybe we're focusing on Towns, but maybe the guy that we all love, maybe also there's some truth to him not being a number one on a championship team.
Well, I mean, how many Smalls have, led the way? Isaiah, Tiny Archibald was great.
But especially if scoring, a dominant scoring Small.
I know. AI, they never won. They got there against the Lakers. Iverson, smallish. I get it. I think it's a fair question. I think that I personally believe in his ability to rise and compute like the moment properly. I trust him so much more than Brunson. Than Towns. I think Brunson is up for the challenge. I also do think that we do this with a lot of things. Like, I think there's a slight elevation to who Donovan Mitchell is. He's going to be 30. What the hell's he done?
I know, but when he takes, as far as winning a championship, but you watch the player, he is just.
When he goes on a binge, he looks different because he's bouncier, he's bigger, he's stronger. I get that. I mean, Brunson's our guy. I trust him with basically everything that I have in terms of basketball sensibility. Cat, that's a different story.
But if you also just look at the roster, I know we get a break here. Yep. If you look at the roster, then they're loaded, and there shouldn't be any excuse. Well, they're just not as good as the West. They have depth. They've got Anunoby and Bridges, who are elite wing defenders and can be top scorers in the league. They've got Towns and Brunson. They've got the pieces in place.
And they've got circumstances. We talked about the Eastern Conference. Did you see the highlights from Embiid last night?
No, I didn't see it, but I did see VJ Edgecombe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's going to be a beast.
He actually played well against St. John's last year. I remember seeing him in college. He's really, really good.
BT Sal on the family. I was talking Knicks out in the newsroom with Gallo and Loogie. Dude, did you see Loogie's tweet?
Oh, God. You know what I did?
Yesterday.
I muted him.
Did you really?
I did. I say that with a smile. I do like Loogie. I can't see the dogs and dudes tweets ever. I just can't do it. I can't. After I went through every Met tweet, no biggie, we're good, Soto this, Cohen that, we're going to win. And I love his passion. I have no interest in seeing his dudes and dogs. Even though I'm a big Knicks fan with him, I had to mute him.
Even the video that he does after the game last night, cutting a wrestling promo.
Oh, I didn't see that. Probably because I muted him. He did it after I muted him.
The one from yesterday I was referencing, over 50 years without a title, over 25 years without an NBA Finals appearance. We've waited long enough. This is the year. Knicks in 26. Tommy Lugauer.
Again, I like the now. You don't think they're going to win a championship. I don't either. I think they're better than you. I think they're going to lose in the finals. I think they're going to
get to the finals.
Right now, I would put money on them to get to the finals, but I would not be surprised if they lost in a tough series in 7 or 6 to the Cavs.
I'm going to bet that the Knicks aren't. And now I'd love to see it, but I would bet I would take the field versus the Knicks getting to the Eastern Conference Final.
All right, here's back to Louis though for a second. Now I'm going to have to unmute him to get back to him. One thing that I noticed that he does, right, and it's interesting. I'm not going to even say it's annoying. It is interesting, but it's very predictable. He writes in a way like he makes every single tweet like it's the end of the world. or it's the highest level of importance. And the way he does it, like I'm looking at him now.
Yeah.
There's always one line. Night one of the Mike Brown Knicks, massive success. Next line, 11 guys on the floor. Period.
Yeah.
Next line, 43s. Period. Next line.
Come on, dude.
You know, like it's like the height of importance, and I do love the passion. I like Loogie, but I had to mute him.
One thing about the Knicks, like that, I think is being overblown to a ridiculous level. Like, is everybody really that excited about playing more bench players? Come on, guys. What are we doing here? Grow up.
Well,
okay.
Grow up.
Yeah. Oh, they played 11 guys. That's great. Who do you want on the floor down the stretch in the postseason? You don't want to see the 11 guys, do you? You want to see the best 5. So, like, let's not make it like, oh, Tibbs didn't know what he was doing. He had nothing to work with. Look at the rosters. Now, the hope would be, I understand what the hope is going to be, that you keep these players fresher for the postseason run. Let's see. I don't believe it's going to. I think the way that Tibbs did it was more beneficial than this will be. Laying off the gas in the regular season and then having to turn it up another 3, 4, 5 notches in the postseason. I don't think that that's the right recipe. I think Tibbs, and especially if Tibbs had this bench to work with, I do believe you would have seen more Yabusele, Jordan Clarkson, maybe a little more Tyler Kolek in year 2. Let's not make it like Tibbs was holding Kolek back. He was a rookie a year ago. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he's improved from then till now. So Brown's going to be a little more liberal with it, no question about it. I'm always a fan of the tighter rotations. I just don't think the Knicks had much to work with, specifically last year with Tibbs and being hurt the entire year.
They definitely had a weak bench here. But I don't have the faith that Tibbs would have been so open to. I don't need to see 11 guys, to your point, but I still think Tom Thibodeau would have had a restriction, which I think does do, I almost said damage because I got Lou Gower's tweet, but can do some damage to the health of some of the players. And I'm not throwing it all at his doorstep. Guys get banged up on. It's not all his fault. But I'll give you an example. What I think is going to happen this year, right? So last night's a good example. OG played the most minutes. You know why? Because he was playing the best. He had 24 points, 14 rebounds. Now, he didn't have the best plus-minus. That was actually Deuce, who was phenomenal. I think you'll see Mike Brown ride the guy. He also took the second most shots, 17 to 18 to Brunson. So OG was really in the flow, and he did a lot. And I think that was Mike Brown basically telling us what he's going to do the rest of the way. When somebody's piping hot, when somebody's the lead dog that night, I'll push him towards 40 minutes. And when he's not, I'll keep him more in the vicinity of 32, 34, 33, which I happen to believe is a better philosophy. But if, I mean, we could exchange philosophies all day. If Brunson doesn't make shots, in May and June, and Cat is whatever,
well, forget that.
That's going to determine the championship. We all know it.
Fair enough, but I think the question now is, which style do you think is better suited to have them better set up for the postseason? Obviously, the results may vary, and Cat, forget injury aside. Cat may not have it one night. Brunson may not have it one night, whatever it may be.
Yep.
Last year, go back to game 1, right, with the Pacers, the Knicks coughed up inexplicably.
Oh, yeah.
Worse than even the Denver loss with the Giants on Sunday. That's how bad that was. Changed the entire complexion of the series. If that doesn't happen, maybe the Knicks win. Maybe the Knicks are in the finals last year. Maybe Tibbs is still here in year 2. So the results may vary, but in theory, my philosophy would be I'd rather just play the best guys. Now, injuries happen. You have to go to another spot on the bench. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, expand it. If you have a deeper bench, you use it. But I think that the idea of having fewer minutes for your star players is counterproductive to having success long term. That's just my belief.
I got you. Yeah, I don't look at it that way. Listen, I think now if this was a different roster, then I think maybe you can make the case that Tom Thibodeau would have been a better fit. But this is an offensive roster. Of course, OG and Bridges can defend the wings, but we've talked a million times that Brunson is a very deficient defender. Same with Karl-Anthony Towns. Kolek is not going to be a good defender. Clarkson's bringing nothing defensively. He's a chucker, and you need guys like that to fill it up off the bench. I say all that because I think Mike Brown has a chance to get more out of this team by pushing the gas in an offensive direction with a roster that is more built for offense rather than Tom Thibodeau, who is trying to get a little bit of both, maybe taking away from the offense and admittedly making the defense better than I think it will be with Mike Brown. I'm going to certainly grant you that. But I think that the ceiling elevates when this team, when their identity becomes somebody that you can't stop offensively, and I think Mike Brown gives them a good chance to do that.
I mean, Brunson played 34 minutes last night. Anunoby 38 minutes last night. Towns, who was banged up, played 31 minutes last night. Bridges, who was the minutes master a year ago, he played 33 minutes last night. I'm with you on the offensive stuff. I still haven't seen it, though. Like, I didn't look at that and say, wow, this is a different offense. And he even admitted it. It was going to be a learning curve, maybe a lack of structure early on. Well, okay. So then, what, the first half of the season? At what point, because we were doing this last year, evaluating the new look Knicks with Karl-Anthony Towns and all the new pieces that they had, Bridges as well last year. So now it's the same pieces, but a new head coach, and they still got to learn and gel and whatever in the regular season. Like, I don't think that that's a recipe for success.
Well, I mean, listen, I think that the important thing here is that the things that Tom Thibodeau did really well, you hope that they're not completely abandoned, right? And that obviously is more from a defensive point of view. Now, the Knicks just didn't shoot the ball well last night. They were, 14 for 40? That's not horrible from downtown. League average right around 37%. So what they shot last night's 35.
Well, the two best guys were bad. Brunson and Towns, a combined 2 for 13.
Yeah, you're right. Brunson was 1 for 9, so he really was the main culprit there. And overall, the Knicks shot 43%, which stinks. So that's going to be a bit of an outlier there. But the two things that they did very well, and one of them was a Tom Thibodeau principle, they were plus 11 on the backboard without Mitch. Mm-hmm. And, all right, Allen's thin and Mobley's a perimeter big as well. But they had 11 more rebounds, and they really got him in the free throw disparity. Knicks took 36 free throws, double the Cavs' 18. So Knicks were missing guys, and I said to Sal earlier, the guys that the Cavaliers are missing, I think, are more impactful for the Cavs than the Knicks players that were missing are for the Knicks. But I think these are clearly the two best teams in the East. We're just starting the race, and I think it's going to be a fun journey. I do.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get back to your calls when we come back.